morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Market Fatafat. I'm Avan Dabash. Just quiet on the screen as of now. We're in consolidation mode. 11,686, those where we're holding out at. For the Sensex, up nearly 80 points. It's the broader end of the market as well. That's pretty much floating through along with the frontliners in trade today. Well, we've got a short and sweet edition of Market Fatafat lined up, where we'll be getting you all of the top stocks to keep on your radar. For that, let me bring on board Kunal Bothra as well as Kunal Rambia, both technical experts. Well, thanks so much for joining in. This one's going to be tricky for me, but I'll start off then with the first stock, or set of stocks rather. You saw an immediate spike coming in, and this after a verdict came out from the Supreme Court, where the Feb 12 circular has completely been quashed. In fact, the Supreme Court has ruled for quashing RBI's rule for all companies defaulting on loans. They've set aside the Feb 12 circular on NPAs. And clearly you can see a lot of those stocks seeing quite a bit of a relief rally in trade today. Moving on then, let's focus in then. Okay, just going to focus in on that as well. Remember, you had 34 power companies, and they owed a total to the banks a sum of close to 1.4 lakh crore rupees. It was 41 corporates that were across sectors that owed nearly 84,000 crore rupees to the banks. The NPA picture includes various companies, the likes of Adani Power, Jaiprakash Power, DB Power, Jindal Thermal Power, etc. That owed, the banks this kind of money. The kind of exposure that a lot of the PSU banks had was the maximum coming in for SBI, which had an exposure of nearly 1.7 lakh crores, 10.3% of the total loans. ICICI Bank, Can Bank, Union Bank as well had quite a sizable exposure as well. Now, do remember, the fate of a lot of these companies was hanging in balance up until the Supreme Court verdict. It was a total debt of nearly 2.2 lakh crore rupees, and they were seeking to quash the stringent NPA circular, and that was the detail that did in fact come out. So it was across sectors, be it sugar, power, shipping, a lot of these companies as well, where the RBI had asked the defaulting companies to restructure within 6 months or face insolvency. So that's the latest that has been quashed by the Supreme Court. Well, let's move away from that. Kunal Bothra, let's talk about Hindalco yet again on your radar.
So yes, Avan, we discussed the stock I think a couple of days back as well, that the stock is now forming a swing pattern or a bullish flag breakout. It did the breakout yesterday, was just about on the verge of crossing its 200-day moving average. But I think that formality is being achieved today. The stock is now trying to test its long-term average, and I've been consistently telling you and the viewers that most of the stocks which have come out of a big consolidation generally require a break of this long-term average. So Hindalco could be the other stock which can try and continue to this momentum on the upside. 230 is a revised target on the stock price now for anyone who's looking for a fresh buy, and keep a stop loss at the 208 mark.
Continuing to remain upbeat, that's Hindalco for you. Let's move on. Another large cap name that's in focus. You had a lot of power coming in from Reliance Industries. Kunal Rambia, let's understand, why do you believe it's a sell? You don't think this kind of follow through is likely to continue? Maybe there are days of consolidation, but what's the general trend?
If I look at the broader term, higher degree time frame charts, then certainly it's showing a very bullish pattern, and the all-time high breakout which came nearly to 1320, 1325. But on the daily chart, I can see that the rising wedge formation is happening with the negative RSI divergence. So I'm taking a contra bet right now, saying that the stock looks kind of, a bit of slowdown may come into the counter. Keeping the target, keeping the stop loss of around 1415, I am expecting the stock to reach 1345 and 1300 mark. But remember, if the trigger comes on the higher side, then definitely it's a bullish sign.
Thanks very much for that. Tell you what, we'll slip into a short break. Do come by back. We'll get you a whole host of other stocks when we return on Market Fatafat. Back with Market Fatafat. Let's keep it with stocks to keep on your radar. Bharti, Airtel, Kunal, let's understand how you're looking at this stock on the charts. Kunal Bothra.
Stocks which I discussed in the morning or in the morning show was Bharti, Airtel, given that as a buy with a target of 356. So in the morning I was anticipating a breakout of a inverse head and shoulder pattern. The indicators, the moving averages, etc., showed a lot of gusto for the stock, and the stock has now confirmed that breakout which I was talking about. So I believe Bharti Airtel could be the other large cap stock which could now try and participate. We've seen a lot of the large caps participate one by one into this market trend. Bharti Airtel could be that of the stock, would revise the targets higher to 368 for a fresh buy at current levels, and stoppers could be kept at 340.
All right, that's the latest coming in on Bharti Airtel. But let's move on then and focus in on Z Entertainment. That stock has seen quite a smart recovery. In fact, it saw quite a bit of a downdrift earlier this morning. In fact, we had the exclusive news coming out on ET now that the promoters, in fact, have sold shares in the open market, and this is to create general liquidity. There was some open market share sale in order to meet some commitments. Remember, the promoters sold nearly 76 lakh shares in the open market over the last few days. You had seen the stock seeing a little bit of selling pressure on the back of that, but then a confirmation as well coming in from the management. The promoters say that their agreement with the lenders as of now is firm and constant, and none of the lenders who had signed the agreement so far has sold shares. There you have it, the stock just about breaking into the green at 431. And meantime, Kunal Rambia, Deepak Fertilizers, why does that stock stand out in trade today under a bit of pressure today?
So no, this stock was clearly laggard in the entire rally. When the markets recovered, the stock tried participating, rallying from 110 levels to 130, 140 levels. But then again, the consolidation has taken out on the lower side. The stock is falling. I would avoid this counter till 140. But by any chance it manages to go above 140, definitely it would be a new trend.
All right, keep an eye out on this one. Deepak Fertilizers at 126. Now, I'm afraid, gentlemen, we'll have to wrap it up on this version of Market Fatafat. Thanks so much for joining in. Do stay tuned for Markets at Noon. That's coming up after a very short break.